Hello everyone and welcome back to your weekly market outlook. We're here to break down what moved the markets and what's coming up next week. Let's get into it. Kicking things off with earnings season, Q2 earnings are rolling in and there's already a lot to watch. China surprised the market this week. Exports in June jumped 5.8% year-over-year, beating forecasts. Looks like the trade truce with the US might be working. Imports are also edged up by 1.1%. In Canada, inflation crept up to 1.9% in June from 1.7% the month before. In the US, CPI hit 2.7% in June. Tariffs haven't pushed prices up dramatically, and that softer inflation could lead to the Fed to cut rates in September. Across the Atlantic, the UK saw a surprise jump in inflation, now at 3.6%, up from 3.4%. High prices just won't budge, even with weak economic growth. Producer prices in the US stayed flat in June. That's after rising in May and falling in April. Year over year, they're up 2.3%. Over in Europe, exports to the US dropped for the second straight month, but they're still higher than this time last year. Indonesia began cutting interest rates again, bringing the benchmark rate to 5.25%. The European Union unveiled a huge $2 trillion budget proposal with more money going toward defense. In Australia, unemployment inched up to 4.2% in June. US retail sales up 0.6% last month, showing some resilience. China's GDP grew 5.2% in Q2, helping the first half reach 5.3%. That's strong, but many think it'll be tough to keep up the pace. Japan's inflation eased to 3.3% in June thanks to lower energy costs, but food prices, especially rice, are still high. That's keeping the Bank of Japan cautious as it watches ongoing trade talks with the US. And in Washington, the House just advanced 3 bills to start regulating crypto. Now, let's check the market movers. And now, the top stocks this week. And what's coming up next? Here's what we're watching in the week ahead. On Tuesday, July 22nd, the RBA meeting minutes are due. Fed Chair Powell's speech could also move markets. On Wednesday, July 23rd, US existing home sales are to be reported. On Thursday, July 24th, German consumer confidence index is up. Also, flash PMIs from Germany and the UK are due. The ECB interest rate decision and the press conference are also up on Thursday. On Friday, July 25th, UK retail sales and the German IFO business climate are up, alongside with the US durable goods orders, which are expecting a sharp drop after last month's spike. We're also tracking a big week for earnings. On Monday, we have Galp Energia and Verizon. On Tuesday, we have Google, Coca-Cola, Lockheed Martin, Philip Morris, and more. On Wednesday, we have Tesla, AT&T, IBM, Chipotle, T-Mobile, Alphabet, and others. On Thursday, we have Intel, Deutsche Bank, American Airlines, STMicro, Repsol, BNP Paribas, and more. And on Friday, Volkswagen, Total, NatWest, AON. A strong one to close the week. That's a wrap for this week's Outlook. We're keeping a close eye on earnings, central banks, and global data. Things are heating up, and July is far from over. We'll be back next week with more. Until then, stay informed and trade smart.